go out to the world and have that be that. I wanted to tell some stories. I wanted to talk about some things. But I would like to start with just a couple of invitations that I usually use to start, and you said that I do. And it's kind of grounding, you know, so that like, you know where you're coming from. So first is pretty often. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for gathering here to hold the space for creation. Thank you for purchasing my liberation with each libation. Thank you for supporting Live Action Hope. This shit is dope. Thank you for listening as I christen my voice on this altar. As my words falter to be heard or become slaves to the wind, I can begin to unwind my mind here, unburden the sheer weight of thought, get lost in the letting out. I need this space to shout and be brave in, to weigh in, to play in, dare I say it, to pray in. You are my congregation, and poems are the only thing that matters, because in the beginning the Word was with God, and the Word is God. I like to do that at the start of anything, just to kind of ground and set. I'm not an overtly religious person, but I mean, you know, the Bible's not the only thing. The Bible's not the only thing that starts off talking about poets, but it does. I mean, it starts about talking about the Word being God, the Word being with God. I was reading through some of the, like some old Asian texts. And within like the first 3 opening lines, they talk about the poet. You know, Rumi talks about the poet. They all talk about the poet. And poets are important. You know, we make meaning out of the world in different ways, and we're not the only ones that do, but we do. You know, and some of that's through storytelling, some of that's through metaphor making, some of that's just through sheer wordplay. But building those connections and those meaningful and deepening understandings of the world, I guess, is, you know. And whether that is coming from an ecstatic poet like Rumi, or whether that's coming from someone who is truly writing so that they don't have to die from their stuff, you know, it all works. So that's the first one. This one, and it's funny that I would have forgotten it. I came back across it, and I'm going to apologize because I will put my glasses on and off because my eyesight's weird. Whatever. But most of this is not my own handwriting, so at least we don't have to worry about that. I've had to stop reading many, many times because I can no longer read my own writing. So. This again is kind of an invocation. This is more for me to ground myself rather than. And this is the crown chakra piece or the third eye chakra piece on the series of masks that are over there. Please let me promote peace instead of poison. Let this be a purification and not simply a perpetuation of pity. I am sick of pathologically personifying crisis and pandering to the panacea of pop psychology cures. I'm ready to break on through. Just as soon as I can find something to chain this chattering brain to before its bare teeth reach my heart and gnaw through the ventricles, making sharp holes, searching for my soul, my ego's most egregious foe. I am more than the sum of all my failures, made up of more than the sum of my family history. I can no longer lament the mystery of sisterhoods denied. I am done keeping track of all the times I've cried trying to deconstruct precisely the destruction and demise of relationships and family, rationalizing how you can possibly stand me when I can't stand myself sometimes. I'm tired of constructing rhymes to hide behind. Tired of binding myself in my raveling mind, tired of looking for the sign of sanity in the inanity of my emotional vanity, for I am sure that I am worth more than this. Perpetuation of pity, pathologically personifying crisis, this precise deconstruction of I am this, when this will never do. Okay. So I want to tell some stories, but before I tell some stories, I want to talk about stories, and I want to talk about their importance. I want to talk about the stories that we tell ourselves and the stories that we let other people tell us, and how we can find ourselves in those in good ways, but also sometimes in very toxic ways. You know, everybody's got a story. I mean, I've got 1,000 of them. You know, I was born in Alabama. My parents split when I was a year and a half old. My mom, and I moved to Mississippi when I was 3, and then to Memphis, and eventually to Kansas. And you know, I had a fairly absentee father who was very difficult to have an actual personal relationship with. That was offset by a mother who I know, to my very core of my being, did everything that she possibly could to raise us and to give us everything that she wanted us to have. So that's one story. There's also a story where when I was somewhere between the ages of 8 and 10 years old, my mother took me to Disney World, and she made me ride Space Mountain by myself. Now, I was 8 to 10. I was terrified of roller coasters. But Space Mountain is indoors. The man that my mother was married to at the time was a super nerd, and Space Mountain was the only reason that he wanted to go. And by God, we were going to stand in that line, and by God, we were going to ride Space Mountain. And I rode Space Mountain by myself. That's what I remember, and that's the story I told myself, and that's the story I told everybody else for the next 20 years. And so as adults, we take a family trip back to Disney World. We're in line at Space Mountain. I'm still giving my mother shit about having to ride Space Mountain when I turn the corner and the cars are all single-seater cars. There is no way to not ride Space Mountain. You can't. You have to ride Space Mountain by yourself. But I let 20 years of my life, you know, like that was my dig, man. What do you expect? It turned out, you know, like whatever, because I had to write Space Mountain by myself. And I had to eat my words. And everyone rides Space Mountain alone. And, you know, and everybody does a lot of things. Space Mountain shouldn't be one of them when you're 8. I've gotten over my fear of roller coasters. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to ride them right now because of the G-forces, but I have gotten over my fear. And if I had to ride Space Mountain by myself, truly, today I could. So, but it's important, you know, because that was a story I told myself. I told myself that story over and over and over and over and over again, and it was true. It was the truth. And I've watched other people in my life tell themselves stories that are not true and tell them those stories over and over and over again until they become the truth. And I've seen it. Rarely have I seen it help someone. You know, so those, you know, so it's kind of a be careful, you know, and know that, or it doesn't mean that everything you tell yourself has to be true, but you just can't repeat the lies over and over and over and over and over again. And you can't let other people do it either. You can't let other people tell you who you are or what your story is. You know, church to tell. So, I've had a lot of different stories in my life. Some of them have been really, really great. I'm going to be real honest, the last couple of years and the last couple of months have not been the best stories in the world. And that's kind of the story I want to talk about tonight. And I'm sure you're all here, you've seen with the event postings and all of that, the GoFundMes and the stuff like that, so you're aware of kind of some of the stuff that's going on. I picked this day for a number of reasons to do this. One was that there would not be a basketball game. So I was originally going to do it Thursday night, and I was like, oh, I'm not trying to compete. And partially, you know, I've got a good friend up here from Alabama. It's her birthday today too, and so we'll be able to celebrate that as well. But I also chose this because today is the 26th. of March. Today is 3 months to the day that I had 2 doctors come in and tell me that they were not sure what type of cancer I had, but they knew that it was metastasized, that it was stage 4, that it was present in multiple areas of my body. They just didn't know whether it was lymphoma or melanoma. And that was the day before they let me out of the hospital. Now, at some point, I think I told a bunch of people that I've been living a hunky-dory life and everything was going wonderful and beautiful, and then all this happened, but that's not true. I've been living a really bumpy life, and then this happened. But what didn't happen was, it wasn't that I was suffering from things that I didn't know I was suffering from, and then I got a diagnosis that let me know. I had no idea. I was just living my life, and the way that this happened, I went to bed one night and I had a seizure. I'd never had a seizure before in my life that I know of, but I was asleep when it happened, so it may not have been the first. Luckily, Macy was made aware of my seizure because apparently I let out the most metal scream of nightmare proportions. And she came back and found me, and of course, called 911, and we went to Lawrence Memorial. And once I came to and kind of got my bearings and got wrestled into a sweater by a first responder, because I was in bed. No pants. They weren't going to put me on pants. They just put me into a sweater and got me in the living room. I was like, oh, you are legitimate. There's a gurney. Because before that, it was just large men in black clothes on my bed trying to wrestle me out of my house, And I have no idea. They're like, you had a seizure? And I'm like, no. So we went to Lawrence Memorial Hospital, and they did a CT scan, and I fully expected that they were going to come to me and they were going to say, you're stable, you can go home. We don't know what caused the seizure, but you can follow up with neurolog. Here's your follow-up with neuro, and then me with no insurance is going to just have seizures, But that is very, very, very far from what happened. What happened was the doctor came in and said, your CT scan shows multiple tumors in your brain. At least one of them will have to be removed to biopsy. We will not be doing that at Lawrence Memorial Hospital. We will be sending you to KUMed. And at the point in time with Lawrence Memorial Hospital, because I've worked with them in the past with a lot of the population relative for a long time. When LMH tells you that they're going to send you to KUMed, you say yes. And so I did that. Christmas Eve, I underwent brain surgery. They cut my skull open and took out one of the tumors that was in there. The rest were too deep in the places that they are for them to get. But they took one to biopsy, so we kind of know what we're looking at. Came to in post-op room, I believe, because the front end of it was open. It's real hazy, but Santa Claus was there. And an elf. And it was one of those, like, is this really happening? But then also it's Christmas, and then I was like, oh, because I was like, Santa, is that really you? And he's like, yeah. I was like, why'd you give me cancer for Christmas? I was like, it's not that bad. Like, how did I get on the naughty list? I don't even remember what he said, but I gave him a talking to. I was like, I get like a free pass for like 5 years, And he's like, okay, whatever. And here's the deal. I don't even know if it was the hospital Santa. Like, going to visit their kid or something. And I was just like, hey! Get over here! And talk to you about some stuff. So that was my first trip to the hospital. I was in for, cut my brain open, I was in there for 3 days. And they were like, get out. And so I came home and I, it's like, what do you do? Came home on steroids, came home because of the surgery. And then just like, what do you do? Wait for the next doctor's appointment, you wait for the next word, you wait for the next, like whatever, and you talk to the people around you and you love the support that you get. And because this happened at Christmas, I ended up with the best Christmas ever. I mean, like, Christmas Day was not very good. I got to stretch it out for like 2 weeks afterwards, and I got to do all the stuff that I wanted to do that you just never do, where everybody comes to your house and everybody eats and everybody has a good time and they fill your house and your home with love, and it really feels like it's supposed to be what it's supposed to be. So it was a good time. It was a sad time, but it was a good time. And then we just started rolling with, okay, what's the diagnosis, what's the prognosis, what's the treatment plan, what's that, and it changes. And then right at the end of February, because the diagnosis was metastatic melanoma, not lymphoma, which is kind of a mixed bag. Melanoma is skin cancer. So everywhere that it's present in my body, it's skin cancer. They can't tell me where it came in. They can't tell me where it started from because I didn't catch it. And it spread. So in February, and we were focused on the brain. That's the only thing we're focused on from the start, is because that's the thing that could knock me out. The rest of it is longer term prognosis, and we've got ways to deal with the brain is the scary part, because the tumors that are present are in my temporal lobe and my temporal parietal area and my frontal lobe. Some of those have to do with real cognitive abilities. Some of those places are the seats of language. And when Molly brought this up to me again the other day, but it was there for me from the beginning. I was like, it's coming from my words. I don't know where it started, and I don't know how long it's been there, where it spread, and what, but it is now coming from my words, and that is not acceptable. It's not. And so that, through this all, let me say, 3 months since the diagnosis, I've been seizure-free for 3 months. I only ever had the one seizure. I had to fight one of the nurses in the hospital because they wanted to put me in yellow socks and they wouldn't let me stand up by myself and all this stuff, because I was a fall risk, because, and we're just talking about it, right? He's like, well, but you have seizures. And I flipped on him and I said, no. I said, I had a seizure. I was like, I have cancer. I had a seizure. I do not have a seizure disorder. I do not have seizures. I have had a seizure. But it doesn't matter. It still means I'm halfway through. If I can go another 3 months, I can start driving again. If I can go another 3 months without a seizure, I can take a bath without someone monitoring me. And honestly, that loss of independence is really difficult to deal with. For me, because I like control, but also just in general. I worked for a number of years with developmentally disabled adults in group home environments as an administrator and management of homes and a lot of those things. And independence has always been the utmost important to me, is assisting others in having the most independence that they can. Because that's, a lot of the adults that I work with also displayed some really severe and challenging behavioral problems. But if you've got a pain and you can't tell anybody and you need somebody to help you do that, I can tell you right now, I'll lose my shit quick. With or without the steroids, But so that has been one of the more challenging things for me over the last few months, is that loss of is that having to depend. Not that I don't have a great support system, and not that there aren't people there that are able to, but just that being able to get up in the morning, I want to do something, I can get my car and do it. I can't do that. Those things are really important to control. And I'll get back there. So that's kind of a rundown on the cancer situation. Where we're at currently is melanoma is incurable. They can treat it. And incurable is a word. And what that word means to me is that they don't know how to beat it. They don't know what to do to beat it. But what that word doesn't mean to me is that it gets to beat me. Because that's the thing that they haven't told me, and that's the thing that they can't tell me, is that it gets to beat me. I get to be the one that, I mean, at some point maybe I don't, but I get to be the one that says that, you know? And so there's been a lot of trying to revamp my life in ways that are healthy and motivating and support that part of it, because, you know, the poet in me sees it different. It sees it as darkness. It sees it as an absence of energy, a block of energy, a darkness, a constriction. And, you know, and I ask myself things like, why do you use radiation to fight cancer? Because it's light. Because it's light and love, you know. I mean, or not love, I mean, I did not love radiation. but it's light therapy, you know, and it drives out that darkness, you know. I got caught up for like a good first month thinking about how we're all mirrors and how we reflect light back and forth to each other, and how, you know, did my mirror get cracked? Did it get so broken and hurt from the things that had happened to it that it trapped the light inside, you know? And so I started looking for ways to make that not matter and just put myself in the path of the light of the people around me and try to reflect that back as best I could, trying to get my mirror clean. Because then I reflect it back to you, reflect it back to me, you know, we make it stronger. And I think that's a lot of ways what we're here to do. You know, so I mean, there's been a lot over these last few months of, it'll reprioritize your stuff real quick, you know. You get out of the kind of junk and you kind of look at the, like, what's important, you know. And a lot of days, honest to God, it's just stringing the moments together. It's just holding enough kinetic energy together to keep my molecules from flying out in a million ways, you know. But I feel like that's what we all do. I don't feel like it's anything, you know. I mean, maybe it's more immediate, and there's this, like, you could really cause some damage if you don't do this right. But I think that we're all doing the same kind of a thing, you know, where we're all just trying